the dancing missile, Sejjil. Today we're going to break down a really important new weapon that's just shown up on the battlefield, Iran's Sejjil missile. So, let's find out what makes it so dangerous. All right, let's set the scene. On March 15th and 16th, 2026, during an ongoing campaign of attacks, Iran decided to use something new, something different against Israel. For the very first time, Iran launched its Sejjil ballistic missile, and you could feel the impact immediately. Air raid sirens went off in more than 140 places. This wasn't just another rocket. This was a special weapon, one Iran was clearly saving for a very serious moment. Its debut was a major event. So what exactly is this weapon? You know, the one that caused so much alarm and was kept on the sidelines until now. Well, the Sejjil is special because it's an indigenous weapon. And what that means is it was designed and built 100% inside Iran. There was no outside help. This really shows a huge leap forward in their own military technology. Let's just take a quick look at the numbers here. It has a range of 2,000 kilometers. Now, why is that so important? Because it means Iran can hit targets in Israel, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and even some pretty big U.S. bases in the region. That makes it a serious strategic threat. And you know, looking at this timeline, you can see the Sejjil didn't just appear out of nowhere. Development on this started decades ago. So after years and years of testing and improving, it's become a very reliable system. And that's exactly why its first use in a real war is such a big deal. Okay, now for the really interesting part. Let's get into what makes this missile so incredibly hard to stop. We're going to talk about 3 key features, which, by the way, also explain that famous nickname. So it's called the dancing missile. And no, it's not because of how it looks in the sky. It's because of what it does to missile defense systems. The entire thing is designed to be unpredictable, to make them fail. And here's the key difference. Most missiles, they fly in a simple, predictable arc, you know, like a ball you throw in the air. That makes them pretty easy to track and shoot down. But the Sejjil, its warhead moves erratically. It changes direction as it falls. That makes it almost impossible to predict where you need to aim to intercept it. This dancing is possible because of a really clever piece of tech called a maneuverable re-entry vehicle, or MARV for short. Put simply, it's a warhead that can actually steer itself as it's coming back to Earth. It's constantly changing its flight path to dodge anything trying to shoot it down. The second big advantage is its fuel. See, older missiles often use liquid fuel, and that can take hours to prepare for launch. That gives the enemy a chance to spot them. But the Sejjil uses solid fuel. That means it can just sit, ready to go on the back of a truck, probably hidden somewhere, and then launch in just a few minutes. In fact, Iran says it can hit Tel Aviv in under 7 minutes. And a third advantage is a bit of stealth. The missile is reportedly covered in a special kind of paint that absorbs radar signals. This can make it look much smaller on a radar screen, or maybe not show up at all, which gives defense systems even less time to react to a target that's already dodging and weaving. So here's the crucial point. When you combine a warhead that dances, a super-fast launch time, and stealth features, you basically create a crisis for these multi-billion-dollar defense systems that were built to stop exactly these kinds of threats. And this number tells a powerful story. On the exact same night the Sejjil was first launched, the Israeli government approved over $800 million in emergency defense funding. Think about that. That's not the move of a government that feels safe. That's a government writing a massive emergency check in the middle of the night. So here's the heart of the crisis. To have a good chance of stopping just one of these dancing warheads, you might need to fire 2 or maybe even 3 multi-million-dollar interceptors. You can see how that strategy would burn through your stockpile of these things really, really fast. And reports suggest that Israel was already running low on interceptors before the Sejjil even showed up. A U.S. official gave a similar story to reporters just the day before. They said the interceptor shortage was, quote, something we expected and anticipated. Those words suggest this was a known problem, one they saw coming but hadn't solved. Iran is not only still launching attacks, but they're now using their best, most sophisticated home-built missile. This really leaves us with the only one possible reality that the damage reports are wrong, and Iran can still build and launch these advanced weapons effectively. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to Zahra Academy.